Okay, you might be a Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great, you're go.
And we're rolling, Gregory.
Greg Saunders!
Wow! Hey, great!
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, 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 welcome to the Saturday Morning State Line Show. Good news, ladies and gentlemen. I got some really, really good news. Listen up. Having the internet in our pocket has now made life an open book test. My name's Greg. He's Tom. It's your Saturday Morning State Line Show for the 9th day of September, the year 2023, the latest it has ever been.
Wait, let me check my phone. In the history of mankind. Okay, there you go. You're right about that phone thing.
Yeah.
It makes doing trivia very difficult sometimes. You've always got those first timers that'll say, "Oh, I didn't know we couldn't use our phone." Yeah, well, your score of 57 points in the first round should have told you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, maybe here's an idea, and this might be a completely dumb idea, so I'm okay with you saying it's a dumb idea. Maybe having a trivia setup system where it's like, okay, you can use your phones, and now this trivia is not just trivia, but it's kind of a test of how well you can use the internet on your phone.
Yeah.
So instead of having 60 seconds to put it down on your page, you got like 30.
That's not a bad idea, actually. I kind of like that, but it'll be okay. Okay, what you will do though is effectively eliminate anybody over, say, 50, 55, maybe 60.
I know what you're saying.
I know, but there are a lot of older folks who are on their phones, but they're like,
it's an exercise, though. It's an exercise. It gives them a challenge, and
okay. All right, so here's the biggest problem I face as a trivia host. The biggest problem I face is after the round is done, I'll have 2 or 3 people come up and go, it says right here, and they're showing me on their phone that, a lake is in fact a reservoir and
that's
a
when you tell
quarry
Reddit,
or whatever.
Wikipedia is not a
question
relevant source. So you just keep moving on.
No, but there are times when they're spot on right, because my boss who made the quiz may have made a mistake. And it
questions,
happens.
you're never going to be
100%
100% right on all of them.
No, you're never going to be. So this is why whenever I write a quiz, I try to stay away from anything ambiguous, anything that could have 2 answers. For example, a state question. What is the state capital of Texas?
There's only one answer. Yeah.
There's only one answer. Yeah, that's Corpus Christi. No, I'm kidding. Austin is the answer. And I do tell people, I say whenever, if there's a question of Annie Lennox, Eurythmics, if there's a question there, just put them both down. What Sweet Dreams Are Made of This? Is that Eurythmics?
Or Annie Lennox, she sings it. I get it. But it's the correct answer is the Eurythmics. That was her.
Exactly. But I avoid those kinds of questions. Anyway, as far as the point I was trying to make, though, is it's the people who come up afterwards. After everybody has 20/20 hindsight, everybody has 20/20 Google sight, and when they come up with their phones afterwards and they've got the right answer and they act so smug about it, well, no, you didn't know it until you just looked it up anyway. So that's kind of
a different way to do trivia, maybe, but I don't know. It's someone can master that idea of adding the phones into the mix, so that it's like I do for the big number of the week. I encourage you to cheat. I want you to use the Google machine and tell me if you can figure out this week's big number of the week. Our current
I see what you
Our
did
current
there.
race to 10 is Tom and Joann tied at 6. It's like a Chiefs-Lions football game, just back and forth.
No. Don't even get me started.
Our big number of the week this week is 5 billion. And the answer is push up or shut down. I'm usually the king of alliteration. And I'm usually both words have starting with the same letter. But this week made more sense to say 5 billion is push up or shut down. You give me your answer. Give me your guess. We'll tell you the answer at the end of the show. And use the Google machine. Look what stories have come up among the news articles during the last week, and see if you can find where 5 billion has been mentioned. You might
not gonna do it.
Tom,
I already sent it in to you.
Tom's very
Sent it.
Google cheating, so that's okay. Joann will be joining us later on in the show. She'll give us her guess as well. We have a special guest from the Walk to End Alzheimer's. That event is coming up here in, is it a week? Is it two? Well, we're going to learn all the details coming up. I've got them written down here somewhere, and I think it's very soon. So, it's like a week from today. So
I got it written down. It's either a week or 2 from today.
Nancy will give us all the details.
Hey, thank you.
Coming up. I got a bunch of shout outs for this week, so let me get to those real quickly. Want to give a shout out to Barnstormers. If you haven't been out to Barnstormers Distillery yet, you got to get out there. They keep making more and more improvements, and it's just a beautiful place to hang. Last week they had a food truck from Madison out there, and we hung out there with the fam and had some food. And they didn't have any live music, but they always got music playing. You can play. We played cards at our table. We were playing a couple of rounds of 31 and just enjoying company out there out in the woods off Route 2. So check out Barnstormers. Addie and Tim have something really, really great going on out there.
And they have one of the coolest features that I have ever seen. And it is literally like an airplane hangar. The entire door goes up like this. And it's the entire door. It's not just, 4 doors that all go up simultaneously. It's one big, gigantic.
It's a legitimate airplane hangar, but they use it for a bar. It's very cool.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out and congrats to Chris and Hope, Team Sold on Tony, Keller Williams Realty. Been working with these guys to find them their next awesome home, and looks like we found it. We got them under contract this week. Very happy for them. Have you been out to Rascals lately up there in the park next to the Speedway? Rascals, they do trivia on Thursday. Well, we often go on Tuesdays when they play bingo.
Wednesday night. They do Wednesday night trivia.
Okay. Well, I know they did something Thursday. And then this week we were out at Rascals. I finally won a game of bingo, Tom. I finally won a game of bingo. I won the blackout bingo round, and I won a pizza party. So yay! I'm gonna have me and 5 of my strangest friends. I don't think you made the list.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm 6th or 7th on your list, I think. So
on the rundown. Shout out to GTTN. That's the Growing Together Through Networking group that meets 2 Wednesdays a month for breakfast at the Machine Shed. We had a great meeting this last week and learned from a guy out of Janesville teaching us about cybersecurity and how easy it is to get hacked. He's an ethical hacker. He's often hired by banks to ethically hack into their system to show them where their weaknesses are.
Wow.
One of the things that he said that caught my attention, he said, I might be a little off here, but this is the crux of the thing is, if you use a 7-digit or 7 or 8 letter or digit password, he can usually break into that within about 10 minutes. If you use a 20 letter digit and special case password, it could take 5 million years. That's the difference in password protection that you should be using on your very sensitive accounts.
Mine is the safest of all. Nobody will ever hack it. It's 26 characters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. There you go.
That's not a bad, do that, but just remove one of the letters.
How about, there you go. Which letter did I remove? How about doing it backwards? ZYX, WVUT, SRQP, ONML, KGI, HGF, EDCVA. There you go. No one's ever going to get that one.
Okay, good luck with that. So anyway, thanks to Michael from Janesville from I think it's called ITTN. I forget what the name of his company was, but he was a great speaker. And if you want to know, I've got his contact info. The Northwestern Illinois Alliance of Realtors threw a tailgate party Thursday night for the opening of the football season. We watched the first half of the Lions Chiefs game on a big screen outside. There was a chili cook-off and some food and some games and treats and stuff. So I spent most of my time hanging with the Envoy Mortgage folks, my buddy Jessica and Eric from Envoy Mortgage, who I really appreciate them very much. Also hung out with some of the Stillman Bank folks and Green State Credit Union folks, and just a really, really good time. Title Underwriters. We love Title Underwriters. They're a wonderful title company here in Rockford. So kudos to the Northwest Illinois Alliance of Realtors and the awesome tailgate party Thursday night. And then finally, yesterday's linked lunch. We've had Michelle Cox on the show before from the Landscape Connection, because she does a lot of stuff for Mosaic, one of our local area not-for-profits. That's awesome. And Michelle was our presenter at Linked Lunch yesterday. She was incredible. She actually brought a little TV and did a little, like a PowerPoint presentation, which, hey, that was awesome. And people really loved hearing about her story of turning the old Fritchens Nursery down on the corner of Mulford and Linden.
Okay.
Did you realize it was vacant for 7 years before they bought it?
Wow.
Vacant for 7 years. Imagine an old greenhouse being vacant for 7 years, what it would look like after that much time being uncared for. Ooh, her before and after pictures were something to see. So kudos to Michelle and her husband and what they've done there, turning the Landscape Connection to what it is today, which is just a beautiful place. If nothing else, you got to go when they do the Christmas walk every year, because that is just a super impressive thing that they do every year.
I've not been there for the Christmas walk, but I've been in there a few times. I go by it quite a bit. It is huge and big and beautiful. It really is cool. And the whole Christmas walk thing, absolutely. I'm going to do that this year.
That's her passion thing every year. She loves doing it among many other things, but that's one of the things where she's like, yeah, that's got to be the thing. One last thing before we go. I don't know if you can still get tickets, or you can. I don't think they have walk-ins, but last week we talked about Restyle the Runway. Their fashion show is today from 11 to 3 at Regents Hall, Rockford University. I'm guessing you can't get in anymore. I think they wanted all pre-sale tickets for this, but if you were thinking about going and you just didn't get around to checking it out yet, go to their website and double check and see if you can get in, womanspace-rockford.org, and see if you can still get tickets for that. Restyle the Runway, Tadmore Tailoring, taking a bunch of donated and previously used clothing and turning them into something new and spectacular. So that's today from 11 to 3 and includes a lunch. All right. Any other shout outs before we bring on our guest? I know we're going to talk football later.
It's all good.
All right. We'll talk about a little football and preseason predictions later. But Nancy Rainwater, I've known Nancy for a number of years now, and she's been in a bunch of different capacities, or at least a few. And I'm curious to catch up with her now when it comes to the walk to end Alzheimer's. Nancy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Pictures around on the screen and go like that there and the other thing. Before we get into anything with the walk to end Alzheimer's, please give us your background. Tell us if you grew up in Rockford and your little career capsule, if you will.
I did. I grew up in Rockford, born and raised right next door to Nashville School. I went to Illinois State University and Jefferson High School, obviously before that. Go Jayhawks.
Jayhawks. Yes.
But so I went to Illinois State University, got my degree in PR, and worked in the hobby industry at the Tester Corporation for a while, and worked at the Register Star for a while, which was where I think I first met you, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been at the Alzheimer's Association now for 14 years.
14 years. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what is your number one goal every day? What is your focus at the Alzheimer's Association?
I want to put myself out of a job, actually.
I love hearing that from people that are in the not-for-profit industry, because that is the number one goal for most of the folks in the not-for-profit world.
Yeah, I want this disease to go away.
Yeah,
it's a horrible disease, and so many people have had loved ones go through it, including myself, many family members, and it's hard to meet anyone anymore that hasn't had some connection to the disease.
Yeah, and I hear stories on my grandfather, my dad's stepdad, who was the only grandfather I knew on my dad's side. It took him quickly, and yet I hear so many sad stories of people that did not go quickly and it took forever. So yes, this is something that needs to be taken care of. Somehow we need to figure out why this affects people the way that it does. And the Alzheimer's Association, gosh, how long has the Alzheimer's Association been around now?
Since 1989.
1989.
When the association started in Chicago. Jerome Stone, who was the founder of Stone Container in Chicago,
Okay.
they started it. His wife had young onset Alzheimer's and just really felt the need to do something. And so yeah, he and a small group of volunteers started it, and off they went. So, and it's, a huge organization now, and we just carry on his legacy every day.
I have a question. I'm sorry. I know you got a load of questions too, but if a lot of times we see people with Alzheimer's, we see it later. Is there anything that would be a warning sign for, somebody in their 40s or 50s, like something that's kind of an obvious warning sign? Excuse me. Just somebody like yourself who's involved in it, so that the rest of us can say, grandma has been, exhibiting these signs.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing would be, something really out of character. I know a woman who had early onset Alzheimer's. She was probably in her late 40s, early 50s when she was diagnosed, and she was in marketing her whole life and could no longer put together her marketing budget. Her mom would actually come over and help her do her budget, and or things like, it's not necessarily, we all walk into a room and forget why we're there, what we were going to get. Gosh, I do that many times a day, I think.
All the time. 10
Yeah,
times a day at least.
Or lose my keys. I can't even tell you how many times a day I do that. But, I think it's more like you forget what your keys are for, or you start keeping your keys in the refrigerator. It's really things that are out of character. That should set off this alarm. And the most important thing is, when you do notice those things, don't ignore it. Get a diagnosis. Go to your doctor, or even better yet, go to a neurologist. Yeah. Because family doctors aren't always up to speed on the latest of things like that. It's getting better. We're working very hard in that aspect. But yeah, to really get to the bottom of it, because it could be as simple as a vitamin deficiency. So something very fixable. It doesn't have to be Alzheimer's disease. It could be something very, very fixable.
And it's like most other disease, there's specialties out there. You go to the cardiac people, you go to, you get certain specialists, who are studying that exclusively, so they can tell you the latest and greatest and what's been happening.
Right. And the hard thing is, Alzheimer's is one of those diseases where doctors don't necessarily want to give that diagnosis, because up until now, there really hasn't been much you could do. There's a couple of, symptom reliever, like taking an aspirin kind of thing that people could do. But recently we have a couple of FDA approved drugs that can really slow down the progression, and it really has changed the game for us. We are now, for the first time, we call it an era of treatment, where we have drugs that can be used at the earliest stages of the disease.
How much does diet play in it? Like not eating enough spinach or greens or whatever?
Yeah, diet, exercise, staying socially active, those are huge. I mean, that's, there's a number of studies, a couple of them being done right in Chicago at Rush and Advocate. That's called the U.S. Pointer Study, and it's all about diet and exercise, and that's what it's about, and it seems to make a huge difference for people facing memory loss.
And that seems to be I was talking with yesterday at the linked lunch, one of our attendees that often comes is a therapist, and she was mentioning how in her practice now she's seen more young kids ages like 3 to 6 years old that she's treating for anxiety.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah. And I'm like, 3 to 6 years old, why should they be, anxious about hardly anything? And, but we kind of talked about the fact that we have become such a sedentary society. Our culture now is so we sit on chairs and look at screens all day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Which is what the three of us are doing right now.
is what we're doing right now.
No, we're going to get out and enjoy the day.
That's right. We are. We are.
And if you're listening to this on Spotify, just listen to it. You don't have to watch it. Just listen and go do some exercises. And that's the point of what that conversation was, you know what? We need to encourage people to get up, and especially kids.
Right.
Lift things and throw things and run and get your body moving, because without your muscles doing what they were designed to do, you get depressed. You have problems. So I'm looking at your website right now, Nancy, the Walk to End Alzheimer's walk here coming up September 16th. And it looks like you guys are about 2/3 of the way to the big goal here of $75,000.
We're getting there. Speaking of a great way to get out and get some exercise.
Yeah, let's
Next
go
Saturday.
walk.
Yeah.
Fighting for a different future. Walk details are on the link there. We're talking sports score 1, check in at 8:30, ceremony 9:30, walk beginning at 10. Taylor Adolphson, who is going to be on our show today, but she tagged you and made you it instead, Nancy.
Yeah. So Taylor is at a walk in Ottawa today, helping out one of our colleagues. So that's the first walks for our chapter are starting this weekend. So Taylor went to help with that. So yeah, Taylor and I tag team this, and I took over this. So
that's cool. I'm so glad you guys have enough staff to do this sort of thing, because some of the not-for-profits we try to get on the show, they're so strapped for time. They're like, can we pre-record things? And I'm like, well, I'm not quite that technical yet. I'm not really I guess I could figure that out eventually, but I really want you on live. And if you can just come on for 10 minutes, even if it's in your car on your phone, I'm okay with that. To show you the details here of what's happening a week from today.
Yeah, walk day it's an amazing time for people that have experienced Alzheimer's disease, either in their families or if they're just a supporter, to come out and feel the love. It's just a real I don't know, an emotional experience. It's almost like a big support group. We all come together and for the same cause, and you just feel very, you're not alone. There's other people going through this, and a lot of people bring their dogs and walk with their dogs. That's my favorite part. I get to see all the dogs. But
bring the friendly dog.
Yep, exactly. And it's, such a beautiful park and a beautiful walk along the river there at Sports Core 1. It's just a really great day. We have a lovely ceremony. A few people share their experiences. We have a couple that is actually going through the disease right now, and she is actually on one of the medicines in a clinical trial. She has been. So one of the recently approved medications. So they'll share their experience with that a little bit too. So
awesome.
Yeah. And I do know that Mayor McNamara is going to speak this year as well.
I got to tell you, the mayor, he is everywhere. That dude,
isn't he?
He's impressive. Whatever your political stripe, I don't care. The dude is awesome and cares about Rockford and cares about the people and does his thing. So kudos to Mayor McNamara and all the stuff that he does. I'm glad he's young and healthy and so the website the website is
alz.org.
alz.org. How simple is that?
Yeah, and you can go right there and find if you're not in Rockford next weekend, we have lots of walks throughout Illinois, throughout the country. So find the one closest to you or where you're going to be. I know my sister she happened to be up in Door County the weekend that they did the walk up there. So she stopped by and did that walk.
Nice.
So yeah, part of our ceremony is everybody gets a flower. And different colored flowers. And, like the blue flower is for someone with the disease. I think the purple flower is if you've lost someone. The yellow flower is if you're currently caregiving, and an orange flower if you're just supporting the disease or, just a regular supporter. And so that's part of the ceremony is everybody, has their flower, and it's a real emotional part of the ceremony. It's really,
I bet,
really cool. But it's a lot of fun too.
Is there still a need? I know we're only a week away, so this might be already kind of past anything. Is there still a need for any volunteers to
Heck
help?
yeah.
Out?
We can always use more volunteers. Yeah, we're out there early setting up. Yeah, we usually get out there about 6 a.m. I think, and start putting out the banners and setting up tables, and we have lots of sponsors that come out. Edward Jones is one of our biggest sponsors. And then Todd Laurent. Have you ever seen Todd Laurent? He lives in Dixon, but he plays ukulele, and he does the most fabulous Beatle covers. And I mean, they're all fabulous, but he is fantastic. You wouldn't think you could sit and watch someone play ukulele, but he's going to be there playing.
I'm totally into folk style, folk and bluegrass music. I love the acoustic music.
Yes, it's amazing. Although my husband, who's a drummer, would say, "Oh, there's not enough drums," but
Yeah.
Here's a tambourine. Join the band.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
We'll tap on something. Well, and in years past, I know Sports Score 1 has had issues with flooding because it's a low area. It's been very dry this year.
So we don't have that issue this year.
No. If anything, we still could use a little bit of rain.
Right, exactly.
Sports Score 1, wide open area, great place to have events as long as it's not soaked. So volunteers, if you're not someone who's like wanting to do the walk itself, but you can sit at a table and hand things out or serve in any way, volunteer wise, contact the organization and let them know you're available. Obviously the fundraising site, it will help as well. Yep. Anything else you want to plug here that we haven't asked you about?
I just want to say, go to the website. If you still have time to register for the walk, you still have time to put a team together. If you raise $100, you get one of these fabulous Walk to End Alzheimer's t-shirts.
Yeah.
Right. So join us. It's a great day.
Awesome. Well, awesome. Any other things, Tom, before we let Nancy go? Did we cover everything?
I think we did. Yeah. I had one quick comment, but it's not important. Never mind.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Apparently, we're not going to ask you the inappropriate questions this week, Nancy.
It wasn't inappropriate. It wasn't, but it was kind of a funny thing, but I didn't want to end on a comical note. But anyway.
Okay. Nancy, you are awesome. I love seeing you, and hopefully we'll catch up again after the walk. And again, our open networking LinkedIn lunches on the second Friday of the month. When you can make it, please come out again. In crowd this month is the last Thursday of the month at Kegel Harley Davidson. So if you can make it out to there, I'm sure it would be a good time to connect with people there too. So
okay,
awesome. All right, thanks, Nancy.
Bye.
Have a great time.
Rainwater with the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Again, give me that banner one more time here. Or the banner, Alzheimer's isn't stopping. Neither are we. Walk to End Alzheimer's, the Alzheimer's Association. And that event is 1 week from today. If you have any needs, the helpline is an 800 number, toll free 800-272-3900. All right. Joann is she's not on the screen, but she's there. So I know she's at PAWS Humane Society. At least she logged in, but she doesn't have her camera turned on. So I'm not sure what she's doing at the moment. I am right now doing some stuff I normally do before the show, but we had such a nice little talk thing going on that I forgot to do some things.
all I was going to say, and I didn't want to, everybody, it started out people mispronouncing it Alzheimer's, and it drove me nuts. And then people started saying old timers. And I wanted to know if she thought if she understood that as just people being disrespectful or people just not really paying attention to what they're saying. It really wasn't. It really didn't have much to do with, so
I think it's just one of those easy things because it is. I mean, Alzheimer's and old timers. It just
it's almost got a double meaning. Old timers because older people get it. That's all it was. It was just nothing disrespectful or anything.
It's funny that you say that though, because as a kid, that's kind of how I remember hearing about Alzheimer's disease. What it affects the old people, so it's kind of an old timers disease. And I'm like,
right. And they always mispronounce it with not Alzheimer's. They Alzheimer's is what they would call it. Then anyway, hey, the other thing is the reason I corrected you on that Wednesday night is because my buddy John is the one who does trivia on Wednesday night at Rascals. That's what I was talking about. So they do something else on Thursday, and you did bingo on Tuesday. That's a busy place.
Yes.
Right. I just didn't want to lead people thinking that maybe Thursday night was trivia, unless they've got 2 trivias in a row, which I doubt.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
All right. Joann keeps logging on and off. So maybe she might be having Wi-Fi issues or something over at PAWS. Let's see if I can bring her. Joann, can you hear me okay? See, yeah, she's gone now. So
all right, so let's talk some football while she's doing that.
you might need to restart your iPad, Joann. I'm not sure what's going on. You keep going on and off. Maybe her Wi-Fi is just having the issues. I don't know. We do have some SMS info to share this week real quick. Some stuff that's happening around the area. And SMS info on the Saturday Morning State Line Show, unofficially brought to you by Altruize. Altruize is the app that enables volunteers to track, verify, and maintain their own community service data for a lifetime. Tell a better story, live a better life. Find the Altruize app in the Play Store, wherever you get your apps, and it's free. It's free. The Rockford Hero Climb is happening tomorrow. Of course, September 11th is Monday, and September 10th, Sunday, at Swanson Stadium at Guilford High School. The inspiring morning features a ceremonial climb of 110 flights, paying tribute to the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice 22 years ago on 9/11/2001. It's supporting proceeds are benefiting the Greg Lindmark Foundation. So check out the Greg Lindmark Foundation. I think I can put the link in the chat box here real quick, maybe. Where's my chat box? There it is. Chat, restream, click. There we go. Greg Lindmark Foundation. That walk is happening tomorrow at Guilford High School. The 7th annual Tamale Fest is happening today from 1 to 8. There is a general admission to get in. It's $10 to get in. Out there on Rockford's Miracle Mile, area's biggest fiesta. It's who's got the best tamales here in the 815. There's food trucks from all over the Midwest and a bunch of low riders. A lot of cool stuff happening at the 3923 East State Street, Rockford. I think that's where Magna used to be.
I believe so.
Right
next to Don Carter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the address. I might be wrong. It might be a different spot, but it's on East State Street. I'm sure you won't be able to miss it if you're driving down East State Street because it'll be a big deal. Tamale Fest today from 1 until 8. Concerts on the Creek. We seem to talk about them every week because they have these free concerts. Tonight from 7 to 9 at Spring Creek Church, the corner of Spring Creek and Springbrook Roads. A great evening of acoustic music from Grammy-nominated gold record-winning David Rudolph. Sometimes he's solo, sometimes he has other incredible musicians with him. Very funny guy, versatile writer, many different genres. They sell pizza by the slice at this deal as well. I believe doors open at 6, limited seating. Concert from 7 to 9. I got a feeling he'll probably do some tribute stuff to Jimmy Buffett too. If I'm not, I'd put money on that.
Probably.
More than likely, he's going to do some of that. So that's today from 7 to 9. And then the Roscoe Fall Festival is happening all this weekend. Roscoe Lions Club puts on their annual Fall Festival. They've been doing this for years and years and years and years. The Saturday Kids Costume Parade. They do karaoke and bingo, and rock bands are playing tonight and tomorrow. All kinds of stuff. 5 to 10 p.m. last night, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. today, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday. Admission is free. Obviously, you want to bring money to buy concessions and stuff like that. Roscoe Fall Festival happening in Roscoe. Okay, Joanna, I think you might be locked in now. I think this might be working. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, there you go. Did you restart
Yeah,
your?
All right.
the internet seemed to. I was listening to you guys earlier when you had Alzheimer on, and then when I tried to join in, it got spotty.
Yeah,
But
it
now
just
it seems
no.
fine again. I know
Very
I'm dark. I
Well-
can't figure the lighting in this place.
You're more than a silhouette, so that's the good news. We can deal with that.
So I'm back.
A couple other randoms real quick. Several European airlines have started discounting flights now that the summer demand has died down. British Airways, Aer Lingus, EasyJet, all announcing sales this week. Norway's Norse Atlantic Airways had round trip flights available between the US and London for about $300. Bloomberg was
Wow.
putting this news this week. So yeah, if you want to take a trip to London or go to Europe, it looks like tickets right now are crazy cheap compared to where they were before. AMC, the movie place, they broke a record this week for single day ticket sales. A couple years ago, they had Spider-Man No Way Home, and in one day they sold almost just under $17 million in movie tickets. They completely shattered that record this week, selling tickets to something that isn't even a movie. Do you know what it is? I'll give you a hint. Music artist selling out stadiums all over the world. Single day ticket sales for Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concert film went on sale this week, and they sold $26 million worth of them. Yeah. So all these Swifties who couldn't make it to a stadium to see Taylor Swift in concert live, they want to see the concert film on a big screen in a theater. And this doesn't really surprise me. And a lot of people who went to the concert will want to relive it again and go see it in the theater. So how cool is it, or just weird is it that a music star might help revitalize the movie theater industry? It's kind of interesting.
Well, she's just about anything.
She is. Her commercials are funny, and yeah, I'm sure she's been in some. I think she's made some cameos in TV shows and movies and stuff already. But
I see her probably switching to Hollywood, maybe becoming I don't know about a dramatic actress, but a Sandra Bullock type
rom-com gal.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Probably a rom-com. Broken relationship,
Every song is a movie, Tom.
I know. And then at the end of every movie, she'll either reconnect with them or move on to the next one for the sequel,
What was the Jennifer Aniston movie, The Breakup?
Yeah.
What's his name? The guy that was the Chicago dude. I forgot the guy.
John Cusack?
No, the tall actor, funny guy.
Ben Stiller? No.
I don't know. Somebody look it up. It's The Breakup. Jennifer Aniston movie. And who's the guy in that? He's a Chicago dude. But he's tall, funny. Anyway. Japanese noodle maker Nissin Foods, they're releasing a soup-free caffeinated cup noodles. They say they wanted to come up with a product to help gamers stay awake at night and keep their keyboards clean. So this is, if you're into like ramen noodles, imagine eating a noodle product that really didn't have soup. That's what they're making. I don't know what the name of it's going to be, but caffeinated cup noodles. What would you? Yeah. I'm all I'm thinking about now is the Jolt Cola that came out when I was a teenager. Jolt noodles, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, the average person, 65 years of age and older, Tom, talking about using your phones during trivia, the average person now 65 years of age or older is spending 300 hours a year or more on social media. That's happening. Maybe they're ready for trivia with phones. I don't know. Maybe. And
Vince Vaughn.
Thank you. That's exactly who it is.
Yes, of course. That's right.
Vaughn. And I'm going to put a link in the chat. If you want to know where I often get the big number of the week, before we do it on the show, get the Hustle Daily info. It's an email that you get once a day with a lot of really cool info up-to-date stuff on what's going on around the world. Some of it's tech news stuff. It's just oftentimes my big number of the week comes from information I read on The Hustle. And I'm going to put that.
We get on The Hustle, we're more apt to win.
You are definitely more apt to win the big number of the week challenge every week if you are subscribing to. Now, I don't always get my number from The Hustle, but sometimes it comes from another source. But very often, The Hustle's the place that gets it. And there's a referral link on the chat this week. So look at that.
Is that a Van McCoy production by chance?
To The Hustle. Nothing to do with that at all, I don't think. No.
Oh, come on. I'm
Sorry.
excited.
All right. So there's our, I think that's all of our randoms for the week. Yay. We can be done early. Let's go home. Oh, we didn't do the big number and we didn't tour the PAWS Humane Society yet. What's happening at PAWS, Joann? What do we want to talk about?
You know what's happening is the big
Palooza. Yeah.
Which we're very excited about.
The day at Back Road.
And I have a friend here. I don't know if she wants to be disturbed.
Hello, friend.
This is Foxy.
Wow. She got some Pekingese in her or something?
Pomeranian. That's just fun to say. Pomeranian.
This is Foxy, and she's. Do you want to look at the man? Look at the guys on the show. Yeah.
Hi, Foxy.
She's been being very good. She got up early, and she didn't get her treat to go in her kennel. She had to come with Joann.
Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for being.
And then we have quite a few dogs that are going. I don't know how many cats, but quite a few dogs that will be there today. And the exciting thing is Lou Backrot is paying all adoption fees.
Well, hello there. How about that?
You're looking for a lower cost for bringing a friend into your family. Come on over. It's 10 to 1 today.
From 10 to 1. Lou Backrot, right over there by the Cherryvale Mall. Can't miss it, right? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I always get them confused.
And we're also having animals from Noah's Ark will be there too. So, and there is, I don't know if it says on, they're doing a collection drive. So if you're not there to adopt an animal, you could just stop and visit. They're having a taco truck there.
Mm-hmm.
And what? Am I missing something?
Get a little huff, little grunt.
Yeah. She says, let me tell you more about this exciting event.
I know something you don't know.
But it's 10 to 1 today. I don't know if I need to say anything more, but
The one today. That's what you need to do.
So come on over. And just that when you adopt a dog from PAWS, I know I feel a snarl in your fur. That includes neuter, spay. They're tested for heartworm, and they have all their shots. So I mean, if you could say free to a good home, it would be free to a good home.
Yeah, there you go. That doesn't happen very often, so this is a big deal.
Yes, and I have a lot of people who are excited about it. Who want to add an animal to their family. So, do you want to take a tour? No, Foxy's going to go back in her chair.
We'll take a break, Foxy. Your screen time has probably wore you out.
That's her 15 minutes of fame.
She's a good dog, though. I said if I didn't own 100 dogs.
Allow. Put that on the screen real quick. That says, look at this.
There's Foxy relaxing, ready for her big debut.
There you go, Foxy. All right, we're gonna take you to the bigger screen, right like that there.
All right, there's our crazy cats.
Meow.
Yeah.
I don't know if Foxy's gonna stay there. Okay, we start the month. I gotta mirror this. You gonna come with me, Foxy?
9 days now into September. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like 9 cats already adopted. How about that?
5, 6, 7. I only count 8, but you're fine.
Oh, today's
And
day
then
9.
there's July and August.
47 July, 36 in August. Big months.
So that was kind of great.
Big months.
And Fox is shopping in our Salvation Army area. Ooh, there's a nice bed way up there, Foxy.
Her leash looked like a big tail.
He reminds me of a mountain climber who's like trying to.
She's gonna look and see if she can find a good bed for the day.
Wow.
Okay, this one says I'm adopted. So that's my favorite. I'm glad she got adopted. Foxy. He's very playful. Foxy found a bed. I look over there. We may have to take that home.
I need that one from the top there, Mama. Get that one on the top.
Give me the one from the very top. Here's Christopher. How are we ever gonna call you for home? We'll have to call those long names. Christopher.
Thanks to everybody who donated those
right.
beds, by the way. That was wonderful. Good to see all those donations. You know what I normally have right now going? A little bit of music.
Oh, some look at the cat music. This is Macy's. Right. Now she's gonna check out something else. The cats are probably not happy. She's running free. Gemma, that we talked about Gemma a couple of weeks ago. It's a bitty bitties. Oop, look at, they noticed the dog. Oh. Oh my goodness, look at this cat. Xander. Very nice kitty. So I would come out to the back road today and see what's going on with PAWS.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
I'm kind of causing trouble with having this dog. There's a beautiful tuxedo one.
Tuxedo says, "Okay, I'm on alert. See me with my hunched back. I'm dangerous."
That's a beautiful cat.
Don't.
It's cat yoga, is what it is.
I'm not quite sure who that is, but I love black cats. So with her white, look at her white socks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beard.
And her Halloween look.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's give them a break. See if those
kind
cats
of bad.
are upset with the dog.
I know. I'm kind of mean. Come on. Oh.
It's not like they aren't safe or anything over there. You know, that's.
Oh, I see Snickers bars.
Snicker bars. 815-299 PAWS. 815-299
dogs. It's just not their choice of who they want. Foxy, where are you? I lost my dog.
All right. Well,
my chair.
No, it's not. I'm going to put the link for the Walk to End Alzheimer's in the chat too, because I forgot to do that earlier. So you got an easy link to go to get all the information about next Saturday's walk out at Sports Score 1. And yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Packed a lot of stuff in today's show. Very, very happy about that. Let's do this. Our big number of the week, and then we can talk football afterwards. Our current race to 10 is a tie score. It's 6-6. Tom and Joann racing to 10. We got to do breakfast really soon, you guys. Let's get this on the calendar because I owe you both breakfast right now. 5 billion is our current big number of the week, and the answer is push up or shut down. Push up or shut down. I've got Tom's answer via text already, Joann. So what is your guess? Push up or shut down? 3, 2, 1, go.
Shut down.
You're gonna say shut down. That sounds like a Beach Boys song, right? Isn't it Shut Down?
Shut down.
No, I get around. I get
I'm
around.
gonna shut you down.
Oh no, that's little GTO, Ronnie and the Daytona.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Did you catch any college football last weekend, guys?
Saturdays have been so crazy busy for me. I haven't been able to sit down and watch any of it, not even any Notre Dame games. I don't think I'll be able to today either. I've got a few things. I got a wedding consult. I got to meet with a guy that's going to fix my computer. I got just 3 or 4 things I got to do. I do. And then got to pick up my grandsons at 3:00. So.
It was a big kickoff weekend last weekend for college football, and most of the big teams, most of them played, teams that they were going to destroy. Right. The good game, I guess, of the week was Colorado versus TCU, where Colorado upset TCU.
Yeah.
And now they won't be upsetting anybody else anymore because everyone knows they're on notice. They're good. But
they are really good.
The Oregon Ducks football team, when they score, their duck mascot does push-ups to match the team's new point total. So when Oregon scores a touchdown and gets the extra point, they do 7 push-ups. If they go for 2, they do 8 push-ups. This goes on the entire game. So, for example, if Oregon were to score 31 points, the mascot will have done 101 push-ups. 7 plus 14 plus 21 plus 28 plus 31. That's a lot of push-ups. Well, guess how many points Oregon scored in last week's game versus Portland State?
81.
81 points. The Duck had to do 546 push-ups.
Wow.
I hope they had a different mascot for the second half than they did the first half. Maybe they switch out guys in the mascot uniforms and the costumes. Is that dude or lady, whoever was in the costume, 546 push-ups to cover those 81 points. Congratulations, you guys are both right. The answer of 5 billion has to do with the Hollywood writers' strike. They've been on strike now for over 130 days. Actors joined in on the strike in July. With no resolution in sight, the shutdown of the film and television industry has already deprived California's economy of almost $5 billion.
Wow.
According to an estimate from the Millikan Institute.
I don't think we've ever done this before.
Not this long.
It's kind of crazy where we've stayed even.
You guys are amazing. You're doing great.
Good answer.
Yeah, so
yes.
Kevin Floden says he came up with the $5 billion figure because other businesses that serve the industry, we're talking caterers, rental companies, even dry cleaners, they have all been terribly affected by this work stoppage. And California's got enough problems as it is already. Now you're depriving the California economy of another $5 billion. It's a problem. It's a real problem. And I feel bad for a lot of the ancillary businesses, the business owners and workers who have nothing to do right now because their number one source of income was working in the entertainment industry, the film and television industry, and they are shut down. It's very, very sad. So hopefully that gets resolved sooner than later. All right. Well, Tom and I are about to talk football, Joann, so we'll probably let you go, hey?
Oh, you're welcome to talk football with us.
And tomorrow's a big game, isn't it?
Yes.
Tomorrow's a big game, and Tom and I want to talk about how great it's going to be.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Yeah. All right, Joann, you have a great week. Thank you
All
much.
right, bye-bye.
Bye, Joann.
Remember, friends, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. Meet us back here next week for another Saturday morning State Line show as we let Joann go and put up this big symbol right here. Look at that beautiful thing.
Yes.
The Green Bay Packers and their 790 wins, I think, the most wins in the NFL and history of the NFL.
Well, let's hope they make it to 1,000 this year. At least 1,000. I mean, not 1,000, 800. At least 800.
It's 700 plus, whatever it is. I forget what the actual total is, but the Bears are number 2, and they've been number 2 for a long, long time. And I do mean that in the number 2 sense. No, the Bears are on the upswing. Are the Packers on a downswing? Or will they just be on a plateau for a bit before on another upswing? That's what the Bears fans are fearing right now.
Well, here's the $64,000 question. I've said this before. Matt LaFleur is a good coach. He's finally got somebody he can actually coach. He couldn't coach Aaron Rodgers because partly he didn't need to. Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers. He knew what he was doing. But Aaron Rodgers always also wanted to be the team leader. He wanted to make up his own mind. He wanted to, don't bother me, let me just do my thing. Well, how'd that work for you, Aaron, last year? It didn't work. You went 8-9. You lost to Detroit. A good Detroit team, nonetheless. As we saw,
and he was healthy at the end of the year. The middle of that first half when he broke his thumb, that was a big problem.
If he doesn't break his thumb, they win that Jets game. They win that Giants game. They win the Washington game. Those are games they shouldn't have lost. They're probably
4-5.
Oh yeah, they're going to finish the season easily 12-6, 12-5, 12-5. Minnesota still wins the division, but then again, maybe they did beat Minnesota the second time. So yeah, Minnesota's probably going to win that division anyway. Last year I'm talking about. So, but that would have just been a whole different season. Would have been a whole different, So anyway, kudos to Aaron Rodgers. We love you, Aaron Rodgers, but we're glad you're gone. I hope he succeeds in New York because I don't wish any ill will for him. Now, as far as the Bears and Packers, the Bears are going to have to get over the hump. It isn't just Aaron Rodgers. Matt LaFleur has never lost to the Bears. And it's going to be interesting for the Bears to get out of that mindset of, they own us. If Aaron Rodgers, if Jordan Love throws up 300 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns, whatever, the Packers win 34-14 or something like that. Who in the media is going to be stupid enough to say, do you now own the Chicago Bears? Trying to bait them. I'm waiting for some moron to say that,
Well, Jair, I think it was Jair Alexander who said, I've never lost to the Bears, so it's not even a rivalry. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not good. That's bulletin board material there, but.
Well, for 30 years, obviously the Packers have had super strong stability at quarterback, and the Bears are at least one, if not the poster child of quarterback instability over the last 30 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is going to happen with Jordan Love? My expectation is he's going to be good. I'm not going to put a great expectation on him.
No, you can't. Because
I think he's going to be good.
He's had one NFL start, and it wasn't a horrible start. It was all the pressure in the world. You're playing Kansas City, who eventually went on to become. This was the year before last.
They were in the Super Bowl.
They were in the Super Bowl. Yes, they didn't win it. They were in it. They lost to the Rams. But anyway, so it's there. Kansas City's been in 3 of the last 4 and won 2 of those. So your first start is on a Monday night against Kansas City, and you're replacing a legend, and you got all the hype for 6 days. Because Aaron Rodgers was ruled out that Monday, and after the Sunday game, and then they had the Monday night. So you had 7 days. 7 days to think about it. 7 days for the media questions. Well, how are you going to fare? Well, what do you think is going to happen? How are you going to handle the media? How are you going to handle the Chiefs defense? How are you going to handle Chris Jones? All that stuff.
Yeah.
No wonder he was freaked out, and he still did pretty well.
He did well, yeah, and he's handling the media now.
And they
really
only
well.
lost the
It's
game
really...
14-7.
No, he was in it.
Yeah, only 14-7. And so Green Bay is going to be in every game they play this year. They're a really, really good team. That defense is very solid. That defense is good. Their wide receivers, Christian Watson's out for the weekend, for this game. I was a little bummed about that.
And Dobbs might be too.
Yeah, that's not good.
Questionable.
That's not good.
So if you're only playing with your third, fourth, and fifth receivers and not your 1 and 2, that changes how the defense is going to play you, because they know you're going to run more than pass, which they might have done anyway. But at least with the threat of a deep ball Christian Watson, you got to play a different kind of defense.
That's right. They can tee off on Jordan Love the whole game. This could be a very low-scoring game. He could throw a couple of picks. My guess is it's going to be pretty low-scoring. It's not going to be a barn burner. They're not going to win. It's not going to be 31-27 or whatever, because neither team is all that stacked at offense at this point. Green Bay is going to be when they get all their players healthy. And it's Jordan Love's, for all practical purposes, his first start, because
it's his coming out party. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm not looking for great things. I'm thinking 2017, 20-16, something along those lines.
Along those lines. I think you're right, because here's my prediction. Remember that game that the 49ers beat the Packers and they threw the ball like a total of seven times. That was a couple of years ago in the NFC Championship game. And that's what I think we might see the Packers try to do to the Bears this Sunday, is turn into that team, that 49ers team that's, they threatened the pass here and there, but they just ran the ball. They owned the clock because they kept the clock running. And a low-scoring game happens.
And that was the game that I cannot remember who it was. Their running back went for 200 and something yards. It was unbelievable. I was like, can you stop them, please? Can you stop them?
I hated it. That was one of my least favorite Packer games of all time. Yeah. Right up there with the Seahawks loss in the playoffs.
And Tampa Bay loss a couple of years ago when this Scotty McCreary or Scotty, whatever his name is, catches that ball off of Kevin King. Because he completely missed whatever. Don't even get me started.
Well, I do want to plug Jacob Westendorf, writing for Sports Illustrated. If you haven't been following him, he's been writing articles all leading up here. He's recapped what to expect from the Packers offense, what to expect from the Packers defense, what to expect from the Packers special teams. He's really gotten. He is the Packers beat writer for Sports Illustrated now.
That is cool.
Follow Jacob Westendorf on Twitter and stuff, and he'll give you the links to his articles. I did see something this week that I got to show you, Tom. This literally happened on. Where's my screen? Why isn't it giving me? Usually it gives me this option to go to this screen. I want to go to this screen.
Kind of think the Lions win 21-20 in a sneaky, gritty Thursday night showdown. Kind of think the Lions win 21-20.
Kurt Banker's prediction.
Gritty Thursday night showdown.
Wow, that's pretty good.
On a live show before the game, he called it Lions 21, Chiefs 20.
Dang, that's really good. Yeah, it's your boy,
cool
Kurt Banker.
I'm still trying to get him on the show. It's not giving me the option. It'll allow me to put the whole screen up, but there you can see Kurt right there. All right, so there's.
I think the Lions win 21-20 in a sneaky, gritty Thursday night showdown.
That's pretty good. All right. So let's not get too crazy out over our skis or whatever they call it. The Kansas City should have won that game. Kansas City complete.
The receivers drop balls.
Kadarius Toney. Oh, and here's insult to injury. He was my starting fantasy wide receiver. He got me. He got me 0.50 points. 0.50. 0.5.
0.5.
Yeah. 0.5. 0.50. 5. Half a point. He got me a half a point. And
he had the ball in his hands more than
Not only
once,
that,
and he
the
dropped it.
interception for a pick six, not just an interception, it was a pick six. That was right off his hands, a fairly well thrown ball. I mean, it was a little bit behind him, but it right off his hands and into Brian Branch's hands. He runs it in for a pick six. Now we're tied at 14 instead of them going up being 17-7 or even 21-7. Okay. The other thing is late in the fourth quarter, there's 2.5 minutes left. They're going down for the winning field goal or whatever. And clock management is one of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid's specialties. They weren't going to give the ball back to Detroit with a minute and a half left. They weren't going to do it unless they scored a touchdown. Then you're fine, because then you go for 2 and now you're up 28-21. Now they have to get a touchdown to beat you or to tie you. So or whatever. So Kadarius Toney, ball he completely drops it. Completely. He was on the 35-yard line and he had 10, 15 yards of daylight. They'd have been, with 2 minutes left, they'd have been in scoring position. They could have exhausted all Detroit's timeouts and then kicked a field goal with 12 seconds left or whatever. Oh my God.
I wonder, obviously it's the game one, so it is what it is, but you can't help but think maybe the Lions might be last year's Vikings. They could go into the season and do what the Vikings did last year, get blown out a couple of times, but other than that, win all these close games, end up, what were they, 13-4?
No, 13-4 Vikings. Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah,
13-4.
I think that's 13 wins.
I think you're right.
So this year, the Lions could be what the Vikings were last year, and I would not be completely surprised by that, the way they played against the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Okay, so I've been saying that Detroit is probably going to be third in that division. A very tough division it will be. But after what I saw on Thursday night, I'm not backing off of my prediction that Dan Campbell will blow a few games. I think he will. He had a couple of moments where I thought he probably made the wrong call, but that's going to happen. So
he'll mismanage some stuff, but coaches
that
do.
Defense is a swarming San Francisco-like defense. I didn't realize how good that defense was. And that Amon-Ra St. Brown, oh my God, he's all world. Oh, he's all world. He's going to be an all-pro.
He's a competitor.
Oh, he is. He could be MVP. He could be. Jared Goff has a good arm, good presence out there. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a brother of Equanimous St. Brown, former Packer, former Bear. I think he's a former Bear. I don't know if he's still with him. But anyway.
I don't know that they kept him. I don't know where he went.
Yeah, but anyway, Amon-Ra St. Brown is really good. And that offensive line looked good. Now, you put Travis Kelce back on that field on Thursday night, a healthy Travis Kelce, and you put not a healthy, but a signed Chris Jones on that field, and that ball game is different. So don't get too far ahead of yourself with Detroit. I think they are very good. I still think Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota are going to duke it out for number one. I'm elevating Detroit a little bit. I am. But I still think Detroit or Green Bay and Minnesota are going to be the forerunners with probably 12-5, 11-6. And then Detroit could sneak into that, maybe 10-7. Because
if David Montgomery stays healthy, the Lions got a good back. So he showed himself to be a power runner again yesterday or Thursday night.
Yeah.
So
no, he's good. And they got a good 1-2 punch. That little rookie they got. I think they got him from Alabama. I cannot remember his name. He's pretty good too. So
yeah. Well, Bears Packers on Sunday. Now knowing that Christian Watson is out for sure and Dobbs is questionable, you got a prediction for a score for Bears Packers kicking off the season on Sunday afternoon. The main, what do they call it? America's Game of the Week.
I'm thinking 2 touchdowns, 3 field goals for the Packers. I'm going 23 Packers. 13 Bears, 23-13 Packers over the Bears. Bears will get a touchdown in the first half, and they'll get 2 field goals in the second half. Packers are a very good second half adjustment team. That defense is going to shut them down. The Bears will probably get one good drive where we're scratching our heads going, come on, guys, can you tackle? Can you cover? Can you do this? Can you do that? And it'll probably be early on. That's what I think.
Okay. I really like your prediction. I really think that's right about there. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a lower scoring game simply because the Packers are gonna run so much, and if the Packers defensive backs are as good as they have been, and they shut down any kind of passing attack the Bears try to put on, the Bears will also be running a lot. So I'm thinking more like a 13-10
Wow.
game. I'm going 13-10 Pack. And AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones both have big running days. And it might come down to a last second Anders Carlson field goal into the Chicago wind to squeak by the uprights and win 13-10. There's my Kurt Benkert style
he's
prediction.
the brother of Daniel Carlson, the kicker for I can't remember who.
Saints? No.
It was Giants, but I don't know who it is now. Raiders, maybe?
Okay.
Maybe the Raiders? I don't know.
All right, we've made our bold predictions. They might both be completely wrong. Watch the score be up like 42-30.
Yeah.
Or something crazy.
As long as we got 42, that's all that matters.
As long as we got 42.
I don't want to be occupying the basement with all the other teams 1-0 and we're 0-1. No. Can't have that.
No. Hey, stay on the screen after I log off here, okay?
Okay.
We're going to shut things down here and end the stream. But again, thank you for joining us for today's Saturday morning State Line show. Next week, Lynn Momberger with Dancing with the Rockford Stars is our special guest. She's with Family Counseling Services, and Dancing with the Rockford Stars is going to be a fun, big-time event, 16th annual event out at Tabala. And you can get your tickets now. You can already start voting, I think, for the dancing teams, because that's how you vote is with dollar donations. Just look for the Family Counseling Services. We're going to talk all about that next week here on the show. Again, remember, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same. Meet you back here next week for another Saturday morning State Line show.